The Easter Islands. Who has never dreamt of draining its land to discover all you saw on TV? This is one of the most remote enclaves in the world. I have always been fascinated by it and had the deep desire of seeing it myself in order to understand its complexity and mysteries. Countless archaeologists, researchers, and experts of all kinds have tried to unlock its secrets. Despite the theories put forward, the evidence is lacking. All that remains is an ancient civilization thousands of years old, where there is no one left to tell us what happened or to decipher its history. So I'm not pretending to solve it all with you today, even though I would quite love it. But I've been there myself with no echo, and we just couldn't not talk about its horror. So here are our selection of the Easter Islands mysteries. In French when no echo will speak, and as you already figured out, in English when I will. Subtitles are available for both languages and Spanish. If you didn't put them on, I recommend doing it now. Once it's done, let's jump right in.
Pourquoi l'île s'appelle l'île de Pâques? Tout simplement car Jacob Roggeveen, un explorateur hollandais, l'a découvert le jour de Pâques.
Well, this one was short. How did the island become Chilean? So yes, in case you didn't know, the Easter Islands belong to Chile. But how did it become Chilean? In 1770, the Spanish crown owns it, but doesn't bother sending expeditions or men to check what's up. So when the Spanish crown fell in the 19th century, it let an open door to the first country who would come along and claim it. In 1888, Chile, then in the process of conquering territory, came on this piece of land and annexed it. Don Policarpo Toro made it happen. A promising land because it allowed Chile to increase the cultivated land only a bit because the island is super small but better than nothing, and to have a getaway into Asian commerce.
D'où viennent les Pasquans? Cette question soulève des théories, toutes plus folles les unes que les autres. Pour certains, les Pasquans sont arrivés à pied d'un continent aujourd'hui englouti par l'océan, à l'image du mythe de l'Atlantide. D'autres, friands de science-fiction, considèrent que ce peuple est le résultat d'un mélange d'astrologie, d'ondes de toutes sortes et de forces électromagnétiques. Une minorité considère même tout simplement qu'il s'agit de voyageurs interplanétaires. Plus logiquement, et sérieusement, et encore, cette population serait issue d'autres peuples déjà existants. Certains parlent des Égyptiens, des Maghrébins, des Péruviens ou des Polynésiens. Ces deux dernières origines sont les plus valides. Le Pérou, car on trouve sur l'île de la faune et de la flore originaires de ce pays et des ressemblances architecturelles avec l'art inca. Mais cette théorie n'a jamais pu être prouvée, et s'il y a eu un jour des Péruviens, ils ont été ensuite exterminés par les Polynésiens. Ces derniers seraient arrivés des îles Marquises il y a 1500 ans environ. C'est la théorie qui est la plus vraisemblable et la plus reconnue. En effet, aujourd'hui, le peuple pasquan possède plus de traits polynésiens, physiquement et culturellement, que de caractéristiques chiliennes ou d'Amérique latine.
What the heck are the Moais? This question is probably the one you were expected for and the one that really gave the island its mythical nature. A typical Moai is made of volcanic rock and possesses a low forehead, pointed chin, and elongated ears. Most of them are men and they had eyes in the past. There are about 1,000 of them on the island. All are really detailed and impressively crafted. It's not for everyone to make. Speaking of such crafting ability, Norwegian searchers wonder how long will that take to build one. In the end of the study, the estimated 12 to 15 months was needed to build a 4-meter statue with 2 skilled teams, so a huge amount of time. Note too that many Moais happen to be higher than 4 meters. The highest, for instance, is 9 meters 80, so you can double up the amount of time it takes. Now, the purpose of them long ago is still obscure. But the most common theory say that these statues personified the founding ancestors of each clan, protected their descendants and transmitted mana, the powerful spirit of God. They were on Au. This word means platform, where up to 15 Moai looked out for their family. The Moais were comforting their family when they stood up proudly, however, devastated them when they fell down. When you walk on the island, you realize this occurred to a lot of them. It wasn't an isolated case. For different reasons too, clan battle or when the Europeans came.
In all cases, they can boast to have one of the best kept secrets during humankind history. And this brings to another question. Well, actually more than one question, otherwise we wouldn't be here talking to you right now.
Le rongo-rongo et l'homme-oiseau. Grâce aux techniques scientifiques, aux progrès actuels, on pourrait penser que percer tous les secrets de l'île serait chose facile. Eh bien non. Parmi les nombreuses questions qui persistent encore aujourd'hui, celle concernant le rongo-rongo pourrait rester sans réponse. Ce nom, qui pourrait être celui d'une danse, est en réalité celui d'une étrange écriture qui comprend 120 signes différents, conçus à partir de la silhouette de l'homme-oiseau ou de formes humaines. Gimlet reviendra sur les hommes-oiseaux juste après. On la lit de gauche à droite, puis de droite à gauche. Lorsqu'on la découvre pour la première fois, en 1865, personne encore en vie ne put et ne sut la lire. Les origines de ces écrits sont elles-mêmes un mystère. En effet, ils pourraient venir des ancêtres de l'île et contenir des explications sur leur histoire, ou avoir été créés de toutes pièces par les Européens.
I personally believe in prehistoric writing. It's more stylish. Now, let me explain you the Birdman cult, which is related to the rongo-rongo. Every year from August to September, gathered in Orongo, the king, priest, and each tribal representatives from each clan. The goal was to pick one man who had the potential of becoming the Birdman. To become like so and honor the supreme goddess Makemake, creator of the sun, the earth, the moon, and the stars, men had to find and swim back with the first bird egg of Motunui Island. With a bit of food, they swam to Motunui, and of course water was freezing because August over there is the austral winter. When they reached the island 2 kilometers away, they could spend up to weeks to find the egg. Let's consider they made it alive, got back to the island with the egg intact, then and only then they were given the title of Birdman. The reward though, well, they stayed 5 months away from civilization and had to survive alone in a house. They shaved their heads, eyelids and eyebrows to paint their skulls in black and red. Despite the prestige you should have among your clan and the community, I bet you wouldn't become one. The last ceremony was in 1866, and I'm still wondering who would be willing of becoming a Birdman in our modern society. Short and long ears. We are ending this series in the Easter Island with one legend that holds several versions. Legends mentioned 2 groups, the long ears and the short ears. The long ears sculpted the Moais, and the short ears newcomers were restricted to a labor-intensive job. At this time, the island was overpopulated with 10,000 inhabitants, and on a small surface like this one, resources were limited. Climate and dryness, tough conditions in general, made it hard to cultivate and simply to live. So wars were probably frequent. Traditionally, winners knocked over the enemy's Moai, but it is said that the short ears never stopped to put down the protective statues of their former enemies, whose eyes they tore out of their heads. That explains why in the 18th century, when early sailors came, they already mentioned that few Moais were still standing and situation on the island was already a total mess.
This video is coming to an end. We hope you liked it. I wanted to try that English-French duo combo, so let me know if you were pleased watching it. I'll see you when I see you, Wanderings. Yorana.
Il y a des fonds, mais pas juste des fonds.
Oh, elle aussi elle a des belles mamelles.
Effectivement.
Allez.